Hi everybody, Night Breeze here, and we're going to do part 11 of my learning Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And last episode I said we would be doing the magic user. I was incorrect, actually just kind of made a mistake. We're actually doing the Illusionist today. In first edition, the Illusionists and magic users were two separate classes. You know, So, but illusionists are considered a subclass of magic users, and they, in most respects, are similar. They have to have a lot of the same characteristics and everything. To be an illusionist, a character has to have a minimum of intelligence of 15 and a minimum dexterity of 16. That's because it takes very intricate finger work and motions in casting the spells. An important difference between magic users and illusionists is illusionists do not gain any experience bonus, so they don't get that 10% for having high scores. Now in here it says, while being equal or slightly inferior to normal magic users in most respects, illusionists have different and highly effective spells, which they do. And, looking at the number and types of spells available, they're at least as powerful as normal magic users. And at high levels, they may even be slightly more powerful. The Tower of the Illusions, by their spells, is limited, or, offset, however you want to put it, by the what magic items they can use. They are a little more limited. They can use all the potions that are not restricted to fighters only. They can use or illusionist scrolls and magic user scrolls that contain spells that are usable by illusionists. Which I'll get into that a little bit later. They can use all the rings. They can use the Rod of Cancellation, the Staff of Striking, Wand of Enemy Detection, Fear, Illusion, Magic Detection, Metal, Mineral Detection, Secret Door and Trap Detection, and the Wand of Wonder. They can use the miscellaneous magic items usable by everybody, but they can also use crystal balls, all the robes except the robe of the Archmagi, and then books and similar written works that are available to magic users. They can also use artifacts that are not prescribed items with, so that if it's armor, they can't use it. If it's a, sword, axe, whatever, And then they can use magic daggers. Now, illusionists are capable of manufacturing magic items which create and sustain illusion, but they have to be 10th level or higher, and it's done in the same manner as a mage creates magic items. They have a 4-sided hit die, pardon me, for hit points. So, 1 to 6 hit points is what first level illusionist is going to have. So, in first edition, they also had their own spell list. So, not every spell that a magic user could cast was available to them. But there were some very interesting spells for illusionists here. Let me get down here to the illusionist spells. The Audible Glamour, which, it basically creates a bunch of noise. Well, it's a great distraction. Have that going off over there, off in the distance, and pull defenders to that side of the castle while you're sneaking in the other. Change Self, which allows them to alter his appearance, including their clothing and equipment, to appear 1 to 2 foot shorter or taller, thin, fat, or in between, human, humanoid, or any other generally man-shaped bipedal creature. It lasts 2d6 minutes plus 2 minutes per level of experience. It's similar to the Druid's change appearance, or the Hierophant Druid's change appearance ability. The Gaze Reflection. It's a first level spell, but that is so potent against basilisks or medusas that use a gaze attack. And your DA would have to make the ruling, but I would argue that a beholder's eye beams would also be reflected by that, because they have to gaze at you to do it. So that'd be reflected back to them. Phantasmal Force, which mages also have at third level, but mages or illusionists get that at first. In the second levels, you have the improved Phantasmal Force, which means, but in that case, the spell can be maintained with a minimum of concentration. You can move at half speed, for instance. But you can't cast other spells. Also, some minor sounds are included in the effect of the spell, but not understandable speech. Invisibility, which a mage also gets. The mirror image, again, mages get that one as well. Let's see. Continual darkness. Basically, darkness, an area of darkness. Illusionary script is great for coded messages. You can write the message on a piece of paper, and the script, it's going to appear to be foreign or magical writing. Only the person or class of person, whatever, that the illusionist desires to read the writing will be able to do so. Although another illusionist would recognize it, for what it is. Others attempting to read it will become confused for 5 to 20 turns. So 50 to 200 minutes, or minus 1 or minus 10 minutes for each level of experience they have attained. So, that's really good, if you're playing a campaign where you're spying and you want to send the message out to, your army, but you don't want to get caught. Non-detection, meaning you're going to make yourself invisible to the divination spells, such as clairaudience, clairvoyance, your detect magic, detect life, detect lie, whatever, and ESP. Also prevents people from using crystal balls, against Anya. So that's a bonus. Spectral Force, another illusion which creates sound, smell, and thermal illusions, as well as a physical component. Let's see. Phantasmal Killer. This is a 4th level spell. When it's cast, the illusionist creates the illusion of the most fearsome thing imagined, simply by forming the fears of the subject creature's subconscious into something. Only the spellcaster and the spell recipient can see the Phantasmal Killer, but if it succeeds in scoring a hit, the victim dies from fright. So at 7th level, you almost have a instant kill spell. Beast attacks with a 4-hit die monster with respect to its victim. It's invulnerable to all attacks and can pass through any barriers because it only exists in the target's mind. The only defense is an attempt to disbelieve, which can be tried but once, or slaying or rendering unconscious the illusionist who casts the spell. Note the saving throw is not standard, they roll 3 6-sided dice and a score equal to or less than its intelligence to disbelieve it. So if they have an intelligence of 9, roll 3d6. If they score a 10, they're dead. Not quite, but it's they run that risk. And that score is modified. If they're totally surprised, they get a +2, which makes it even harder to save. Regular, just surprised, they get a +1. Subject's been previously attacked by that spell. Then there's a -1 per previous attack, because they recognize it for what it is. If it's an illusionist, it's a -2. And if they're wearing a helm of telepathy, it's a -3, plus they have the ability to turn the spell on its creator, if they succeed. Note also, magic resistance and wisdom modifiers do apply. If they succeed in disbelieving and are wearing a helm of telepathy, the beast can then be turned on the illusionist and they must disbelieve. Shadow monsters. Basically, they create a semi-real phantasm of one or more monsters. The total hit die cannot exceed the level of the illusionist. So a 10th level illusionist can create one character that has 10 hit die, 2 which have 5, so on and so forth. They have to be all of one sort, though. I mean, you can't create a mix of hobgoblins, kobolds, goblins, whatever. It has to be all one type. So they have 20% of the hit points that they normally would have. You roll the hit dice and multiply by 0.2. Any score less than 0.4 is dropped. In the case of monsters with 1 or fewer hit die, this means they weren't successfully created. And scores of 0.4 or greater are rounded up to 1 hit point. If they fail if the creature or the target fails the saving throw, they believe the illusion. The shadow monsters perform as normal with respect to armor class, attack forms, whatever. If they make their save, the shadow monster is AC 10 and only does 20% of their normal damage. Dropping damage less than 0.4 as well as done with the hit points. So, it's not, they can't completely avoid it, but the spell's weakened by them being able to disbelieve. 5th level then has the demi-shadow monsters, which is very similar, except they're created at 40% hit points, and the damage potential saved is 40% with an armor class of 8. A maze spell at 5th level, which is the same as the 8th level magic user spell. Basically, you trap them into a maze, and minotaurs are immune to it. I'll explain that spell when I do magic users. Shadow door. They create the illusion of a door. They can then open it and appear to step through the door, and they disappear, when what they've actually done is dart to the side and become invisible. Creatures that are viewing them setting through see them entering an empty 10 by 10 room, and if they open the door, they see that same room. Only a true seeing spell, a gem of seeing, or similar magic means will discover the illusionist. Shadow magic. Here's where they start getting into some of the more common mage spells, somewhat. Allows the illusionist to cast a quasi-real spell. It could be either magic missile, fireball, lightning bolt, or cone of cold, and it'll have normal effect upon creatures if they fail their save. If the save is made, it'll inflict 1 hit point of damage per level of experience. Let's see. In the 6th level, they have demi-shadow magic. But in addition to what they had listed, they can also do a wall of fire, wall of ice, or a cloud kill. If they make the save, the magic missile, fireball, etc. does 2 points of damage per round, or per level of experience, while the wall spells cause 1 to 4 points per level, and the cloud kill will only kill creatures with fewer than 2 hit die. The let's see, True Sight, which is the same as a pivotal clerical spell that allows, as I discussed before, but it does not allow them to determine alignment. You get into the 7th level spell, you have Alter Reality, which is similar to the magic user's Limited Wish. But it also requires the use of a Phantasmal Force spell, as well as verbalization in a limited form. Astral spell, same as a cleric. They can enter the astral plane with it and take people with them. The Prismatic Spray. This is one of the really damaging attack spells. When the spell is cast, illusion causes 7 rays of prismatic light to spring from his or her hand. Any creature in the area of effect will be touched by 1 or more of the rays. Determine which ray strikes. Roll an 8-sided die. And they'll be struck by 1 or 2 beams. The saves apply, and it's similar to the prismatic wall, or the prismatic sphere spell is what it's similar to, which is a mage spell. Let's see, the prismatic wall just sets a wall up that you got to go through it. It's it's all the colors. And then they also get, at 7th level, the classic 1st level magic user spells. They gain 4 of them each time they learn that spell. When they first learn it at 14th level, they get 4 of those spells. And each level thereafter, they get another one. That's going to be your magic missile, featherfall, whatever. They have to find the spells at the same manner as a mage. So, they have to find the scroll or a spell book that has it. Whatever. So, the illusions can be quite dangerous. And it does get expanded out in the Unearthed Arcana. And they have different cantrips than what a mage might have. Trying to see. But at first, as a 1st level spell, this will give you an idea. They have Phantom Armor. It covers the target, and unless it's actively disbelieved, so in other words, they decide, okay, the person fighting the target, it's this ain't real. I disbelieve it, and they make the saving throw. Then it doesn't affect, but until it's gone or disbelieved, the armor protects the wearer as if he were in plate mail armor. AC 3. For each level of the spellcaster, the armor will absorb 1 hit point of damage. So, when the armor has absorbed as many points of damage as the spellcaster has levels of experience, it's dispelled. Any remaining and all additional damage accrues to the person. Additionally, it allows a bonus of +1 to saves versus attack forms, which would similarly be modified by magic armor. Now, it doesn't affect the movement of the wearer. Not subject to rust monster attack. And that may actually be a reason to disbelieve it. So, I mean, that's a first level protection spell. Ultravision. They, see in the ultraviolet frame, which there's a mage spell I'll discuss later that it's the same as. There's a Phantom Steed. They can, basically summon a horse or whatnot. The Dream spell. It's a very limited form of Limited Wish. They have to find a comfortable place to rest, lay prone, compose her thoughts, concentrate, and then go to sleep. If they have undisturbed rest for not less than 8 hours, the dream will be, the dream magic will happen about 1 to 12 hours thereafter. Typical things that, wrought by dreams: recovery of an opponent's or of an individual's hit points, restoration of a body member such as their hand or foot, success in locating an object not heavily guarded by magic wards, discovery of a way into a place or out, location of a safe path through the wilderness, improve their chance for gaining treasure, approximate strength of enemy opponent forces. If a creature scryed by this effect has 7 or more hit die, it may make a save versus spell. If successful, it'll be undetected by the dream. Now, note that it's not an ultra powerful spell, and the results must be strictly limited. The guide given above denotes the maximum capability of casting a dream. Results will never exceed those parameters on a permanent basis. So, for instance, if they dreamed that their companion that was slain was alive, they would be for about another 10 minutes per level of experience. After that, boom, they're dead again. The dream cannot be affected by an extension or permanency spell. And it can only be used once a week. If it's cast twice within the same week, the spell will absolutely fail the second time, and the illusionist will age from 1 to 10 years. I'm just giving some highlights here. Weird, yes. 7th level spell. When this spell is cast, the illusionist must be able to converse with the subject or subjects to bring the Dwemer about. During the casting, the illusionist must call out to the subject or subjects and inform them that their final fate, indeed their doom, is now upon them. The force of the magic is such that even if the subjects make their saving throw, fear is going to paralyze them for a full 7 segments, which is 42 seconds. And they're going to lose 1 to 4 strength points from the fear. Although the lost strength will return in 7 minutes. Failure to save will cause the subject or subjects to face their nemesis, the opponent's most fear to them. Actual combat must then take place, for no magic means of escape will be possible. The foe is fought as real for all intents and purposes. If the subject loses, they die. If the weird caused by the Dwemer is slain, the subject emerge with no damage, no loss of items seemingly used, no loss of spells, whatever. And they do gain the experience for defeating the weird. Although each round of combat seems normal, it takes but 1 segment of real time, so 6 seconds. During the course of the spell, the illusionist must concentrate fully on maintaining it. That is, an extremely strong spell. So, but that's the illusionist. Now, next week we'll be covering the actual magic users. Um, and or well, I say next week, next time. Let's put it that way. So I want to thank you all for joining me. If you like my content, as always, please leave that like, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure the notifications are turned on. This way you know when I upload my next video. And tell your friends, they may enjoy it. As always, leave a comment. I do look forward to them. Please keep them polite. If you like my content, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know, but be polite about it. That's all I ask. And if you want to share your stories of your D&D group or your favorite character or whatever, please feel free. I love those stories. So, as always, have a great time, everybody. And I will be with you all again soon. Bye.